87% of seniors reversed muscle loss in 14 days. Here's how. By the time you reach age 70, you may have already lost up to 40% of your muscle mass without even realizing it. No pain, no bruises, no real warning signs, just you rise from a chair more slowly. You grip the handrail when climbing stairs. You carry a grocery bag and think, why does this feel heavier than usual? And you tell yourself, well, I guess I'm just getting old. But no one tells you this. Your body isn't just aging. It's slowly disappearing. Not the wrinkles, not the gray hair, but the muscle, the very thing that holds you upright, helps you sit without collapsing and walk without needing someone to catch you. Opening narration. Welcome to the life after 60. Today I'm not telling you a heartwarming story. I'm telling you a truth, a cold, necessary truth. If you're over 60 and doing nothing to stop it, your body is quietly pulling away from you. A study from Johns Hopkins University found older adults with severe muscle loss are up to 320% more likely to become physically disabled. 320%. That means going from someone who walks to the market to someone waiting for a wheelchair at the door. From someone who used to do their own laundry to someone waiting for their children to do it for them. Not because you've lost your mind, not because you've lost your will, but because your legs no longer respond. And the most terrifying part, no one told you it was preventable. Isn't muscle loss just part of getting older? No. Absolutely not. It's the result of silence, of nutrient-deficient meals, of medications that quietly weaken your muscles while your doctor never explains why, of avoiding sunlight, of the days you told yourself, I'm just going to rest a little. But when a little rest becomes your routine, when vitamin D isn't replaced, when CoQ10 drops from taking statins, when B12 can't be absorbed anymore because your stomach's aged, your body stops fighting back. It just lets go. And if you've ever told yourself, I'm just weak because I'm old, then maybe today you need to hear this. You're not weak because you're old. You're weak because you're missing something, and no one ever told you, or toldn't. In the next chapter, I will share with you the 6 essential nutrients that helped 87% of older adults regain strength in just 14 days. And why just one pill you're taking right now might be secretly stealing your ability to walk. Don't go anywhere. You deserve to know this before it's too late. When you lose part of your body without ever knowing, I didn't break a bone. I didn't have a stroke. But one day I couldn't get up from my armchair, and no one called it a disease. Walter Grayson, age 72. Walter used to be an air conditioner repairman. The classic American kind of man, steady hands, did everything himself, never asked for help. But after turning 65, he started feeling it. The stairs got heavier. The bags felt heavier. His heart beat strangely fast after just a little exertion. He told himself, it's just aging. Everyone slows down eventually, so he kept living like nothing was happening. Until one morning, bending down to grab the newspaper off the porch, he couldn't stand back up. No tripping, no slipping. His legs just didn't have the strength. His wife panicked. The doctors ran tests. No stroke, no fracture. Just one diagnosis. You have advanced muscle loss. It's called sarcopenia. Walter blinked, confused. Muscle loss? Then why didn't I feel it coming? A voice of recognition. This is the terrifying part about sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. It doesn't strike like a stroke. It doesn't hurt like arthritis. There's no fever, no bleeding, no alarm bells. It just quietly takes your muscles, little by little. You lose 0.5% of your muscle strength every single day. In 1 year, that's 3 to 5%. In a decade, you've lost 30 to 40% of your strength, and you don't notice it until you try to stand and can't. Do you know what happens when you lose muscle? You lose freedom. And when you lose freedom, you lose your spirit. And once the spirit gives out, the body follows fast. Signs you may be losing muscle. Can't climb 10 stairs without getting winded. Need to use your arms to push up from a chair. Feel unsteady when turning. Struggle to lift anything heavier than 10 pounds. Feel exhausted for no clear reason after eating or waking. The heartbreaking part, most doctors don't test for this. You're just old. A little weakness is normal. Try some exercise. But no one checks your vitamin D. No one tests your CoQ10 levels. No one asks if you're on statins, a drug that can lower CoQ10 by up to 65%, leaving your body like a car running on empty. I didn't fall because of an accident. I fell because there was nothing left in me to hold myself up. Walter Grayson. Muscle isn't just strength, it's survival. Muscle keeps you upright, protecting your heart, balancing your blood sugar, regulating hormones, and shielding your brain from aging too fast. When you lose muscle, you don't just get weaker. You're more likely to fall, to fracture, to lose sleep, to become confused. It doesn't start in the brain, it starts in the legs. In the next chapter, I will share with you the essential nutrients you're missing without even knowing it, and why the very pill you're taking each day might be slowly draining the life out of your cells. We won't speak in vague terms. We'll look clearly at what's happening inside your own body. And if you're still listening now, it means you're still trying to hold on to yourself. Why your doctor never told you I take my pills every day. I eat just fine, but every morning, I feel myself drifting further from who I used to be. No one explained it. No one warned me. No one looked long enough to really see me. Margaret Ainsley, age 74. Margaret wasn't lazy. She walked around the park every morning, attended senior yoga at the local library, took statins for cholesterol, eye supplements, multivitamins. She went to bed early, a picture-perfect portrait of senior health compliance straight from every hospital brochure. And yet, in the span of a year, she couldn't climb 7 stairs without stopping to breathe. She couldn't sleep deeply even without caffeine. Her head felt cloudy. Her memory flickered, forgetting the name of something she had in her hand 5 minutes ago. She went to the doctor. No Alzheimer's, no depression, no high blood pressure, no diabetes. The diagnosis, just age, but Margaret knew. Something inside her was quietly unraveling. A voice that lifts the veil. Here's the truth few people say out loud to older adults. You're not weak because you're old. You're weak because you're missing something, and no one has checked what that something is. There are 6 nutrients absolutely vital to strength, stability, and cognition that most seniors are silently lacking. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because aging reduces your ability to absorb what matters. Because the pills you take every day might be quietly depleting what you need to survive. And because your doctor probably never looked that deep. The 6 silent deficiencies no one asked you about. 1. CoQ10, the cellular fuel silently drained by statins. You take statins for cholesterol, great, but they deplete CoQ10 by up to 65%. CoQ10 is what gives your cells energy. Without it, your muscles go dim. You feel tired not because of aging, but because your body is running on fumes. 2. Vitamin D. Not just sunlight, but balanced sleep and strength. Low D equals poor sleep, weak bones, falls, muscle fatigue. Nearly 40% of older adults are deficient and don't know it. Why no more time outdoors? Sunscreen, fear of skin cancer. But no one tells you low D means your nerves and muscles can't coordinate and you fall. 3. Vitamin B12. Your memory isn't failing. Your brain's signal is fading. You forget not because you're scattered, but because your brain and body aren't communicating. After age 60, B12 absorption drops drastically. If you take metformin or antacids, it's even worse. 4. Vitamin C. Not just for immunity, it holds your muscles together. Without enough C, your connective tissue weakens. You lift a grocery bag and fatigue quickly, not because you're frail, but because your muscle fibers are no longer bonded properly. 5. Magnesium. The mineral stolen by your medications, diuretics, heartburn meds, antibiotics, they all drain magnesium. Low magnesium equals leg cramps, insomnia, silent anxiety, stiff muscles. 6. Creatine. Not just for athletes, it helps you stand up without help. Creatine powers short bursts of movement. It helps you rise from a chair, walk a few steps without gasping, turn around without falling. And yet, no one tells seniors they need it too. The hard truth, doctors don't always have time to look deep. And that's why you must learn to ask, to test, to protect yourself. Because if you don't, everything gets blamed on age. I thought I was doing everything right. But it turns out, I was missing what no one ever tested for. Margaret Ainsley. In the next chapter, I will walk you through these nutrients one by one and share the stories of seniors who thought they'd never stand again. Until they did. Just 2 weeks after starting the right nutritional recovery. No magic, no miracles, just finally knowing what you were missing all along. The 6 nutrients that reverse muscle aging and bring back the legs you thought you lost. I didn't think I'd ever be able to stand on my own again. But just 2 weeks later, I climbed the stairs without holding the rail. I carried groceries without my hands shaking. And I cried because I felt myself coming back. Henry Brooks, age 78. Henry didn't take muscle enhancers. He didn't go to the gym. He didn't need a luxury rehab center. He did only one thing. He gave his body back the 6 nutrients it had been quietly losing for years. The ones no one ever mentioned. A doorway to hope. Your body doesn't need a miracle drug. It just needs what was once there and has been fading quietly. Below are 6 clinically studied nutrients proven to restore strength, improve mobility, and reverse decline in people over 65. 1. CoQ10. The power source your cells forgot they needed. CoQ10 generates energy inside every muscle cell, but after age 60, your levels can drop by up to 60%. If you're taking statins for cholesterol, the drop can be even worse, sometimes cut in half again. No CoQ10 equals no fuel. Weakness, fatigue, trembling, even at rest. 10 days after starting CoQ10, I took the trash out by myself for the first time in 2 years. Henry 2. Vitamin D. A deeper sleep and a straighter back. Low vitamin D leads to muscle loss, weaker bones, imbalance, and falls. Worse, low D equals reduced calcium absorption. Your muscles can't contract and release properly. Vitamin D also supports neurotransmitters, helping you sleep deeply and stay emotionally stable. I finally slept through the night after 6 months of insomnia because I started taking the right dose of D3. Maria H., age 69. 3. Vitamin B12, for memory, muscles, and nerve communication. B12 protects your nerve insulation, myelin. Low B12 equals your brain can't tell your muscles what to do. Imbalance, falls, numbness, tremors. Over 30% of people over 65 absorb B12 poorly, even with a good diet. If you take acid blockers, omeprazole, lansoprazole, or metformin, B12 absorption can drop to almost 0. I wasn't losing my mind. I was just low on B12. Now I can remember my favorite song again. Clyde H., age 73. 4. Vitamin C, the glue that holds your muscle tissues together. C isn't just for colds. It helps build collagen, the fiber that holds muscles, tendons, and ligaments together. Low C equals loose connective tissue, sore joints, muscle fatigue, minor injuries. Vitamin C also helps convert fat into usable energy for your muscles. I don't get lower back pain when I bend over anymore ever since I started taking C every morning. Janet W., age 68. 5. Magnesium, the key to stronger muscles, deeper sleep, and fewer cramps. Magnesium supports proper muscle contraction and relaxation. Low magnesium equals leg cramps, muscle tension, ligament strain, irregular heartbeat, diuretics, antacids, antibiotics. They all flush out magnesium, and most seniors don't eat enough leafy green seeds or nuts to make up for it. I thought I had early Parkinson's. Turns out I was just magnesium deficient. Daniel T., age 75. 6. Creatine, not just for athletes. Creatine helps preserve and rebuild muscle mass. It also strengthens the signal between your nerves and muscles so you can rise from a chair, climb stairs, or walk faster without gasping for air. Just 3 to 5 g a day, and it works like a mini gym inside your body. After 3 weeks, I climbed the stairs without grabbing the rail. I stood up from the couch without pushing off the table. I felt like myself again. Henry, a whisper at the end of the no one is selling you a miracle, but if you're missing something, your body is waiting for you to find it again. 6 nutrients, not trendy, not new, just forgotten. You don't need to take them all. You just need to find out which one your body is begging for. In the next chapter, I will show you how to know if you're deficient in CoQ10, D3, or B12, and why most doctors never test for these even in your annual checkups. Don't miss it, because your legs deserve to stand strong not just on bone and muscle, but on the belief that you can come back. How to know if you're losing muscle. The signs and tests your doctor rarely mentions. I used to think if the doctor didn't say anything, then I must be fine. But one morning, I couldn't get out of bed, and by then, no one could tell me why. Patrick Lang, age 76. You go for annual checkups, you get your blood pressure checked, you do EKGs, full blood panels, but still you feel it: weakness, fatigue, power loss, insomnia, foggy memory. You go back to your doctor, and they say there's nothing serious, it's just age. A gentle slap to the old way of thinking. No, aging doesn't mean you should feel tired all the time. It doesn't mean poor sleep is normal. And it absolutely shouldn't mean losing your independence. You don't have to be a health expert. You just need to ask the right questions and track what truly matters beyond just blood sugar or blood pressure. 6 tests you should ask for right after this episode. Plasma CoQ10 test, especially if you're taking statins. Do you feel deep fatigue even with good sleep? Are your arms and legs weakening faster than they should? Ask for a plasma CoQ10 test. If your doctor won't run it, look for a specialized lab. I've been on statins for 10 years. No one ever told me it was draining my energy. Patrick 2, 25 OH vitamin D. Total vitamin D. Don't wait for osteoporosis to start supplementing. If you rarely go outside, live in cold or cloudy climates, wear sunscreen regularly, struggle with light falls, bone pain, or weak muscles, get your 25 OH vitamin D tested. Target above 30 ml, ideally 40-60 ml. 3. Serum vitamin B12. Do you experience recent memory lapses, tingling or numbness in your hands and feet, vivid, confusing dreams or shallow sleep, A low mood you can't explain, ask for a total B12 test. Aim for levels above 500 pg/ml. Don't wait until you're under 200. 4. CRP reactive protein. CRP is a marker of low-grade inflammation which can show oxidative stress, accelerated muscle loss, early internal aging. If your CRP is high, it's time to revisit your nutrition and start healing from the inside out. Magnesium, both serum and RBC. Red blood cell levels. Do you often experience light twitching or spasms during sleep, back or leg? Fatigue, trouble sleeping or relaxing, heart fluttering when lying down. You may be magnesium deficient. Standard blood tests might show normal levels. Ask for a magnesium RBC test if possible. It tells the deeper truth. 6. Simple home muscle test. No machines needed, just a chair. Sit and stand from the chair without using your hands. If you can't do it 5 times in a row, you're losing muscle. Try walking for 6 minutes straight. If you get winded or have to stop halfway, your muscles, heart, and lungs are all declining quietly. Voice that touches the soul. You don't need a doctor to see everything. Sometimes your body has already told you, you just didn't know how to listen. That persistent fatigue, the heaviness in your limbs, the blurry thoughts, the sleep that never feels restful. They might not be old age. They might be signals that your body is losing its foundation muscle, nutrients, and the ability to bounce back. If I had known sooner, I wouldn't have let myself fade so fast. Patrick Lang. In the next chapter, I will share stories from people who reversed their decline simply by restoring what was missing. The right nutrients in the right way at the right time. No massive expenses, no machines, just a quiet moment of honesty sitting with your body and asking, what do you need most right now? The comebacks, 3 people who stood up again through nutrition and belief. I don't want to just survive. I want to live, to button my own shirt, to walk to the end of the block without fearing a fall, to make myself lunch without needing help to open the lid. Elaine Foster, age 79. Some comebacks don't begin with a prescription. They begin with a sigh, a quiet reckoning, not in a hospital bed, but in your own kitchen, where you pause and ask, body, what do you need from me? Story 1. Elaine, the woman who couldn't carry her bag anymore. Elaine had spent her life as a librarian. She loved books, loved order, loved stillness. But after 75, she could no longer carry a tote of books around the library. Every time she lifted something heavier than 2 pounds, her arms would tremble. Every time she walked, she needed someone nearby, not because she feared falling, but because she feared the helplessness. Her doctor said, it's just aging. Maybe consider a walker. Elaine said no. Quietly, she built her own routine. 200 mg CoQ10 every morning. 1,000 IU vitamin D3 with breakfast, 1,000 mcg B12 sublingual, 300 mg magnesium glycinate at night, 1 small scoop of creatine in oat milk day-turn. She washed dishes without shoulder pain. Day 14, she took her shopping bag to the market again. Week 3, she reached up to brush her hair without help. I didn't need someone to push me anymore. I pushed myself out of that sofa I thought I'd live in until the end. Elaine's story 2. Miles, the man who lost all feeling in his feet. Miles was a former soldier, strong, steady, but he couldn't understand why at 68 his legs were going numb. No diabetes, no stroke, just a silent slide. He couldn't step onto a bus because he couldn't feel the stairs. He couldn't bathe alone, too many slips. One night he fell and almost didn't wake up. His doctor recommended physical therapy, but Miles said, I don't need someone to move my legs. I need to reconnect my brain to my body. He started with 2,000 mcg methylated B12, 500 mg vitamin C, D3 plus K2 to support calcium absorption. A full review of his medications, including stopping statins that drained CoQ10 week 2. The numbness lessened. Week 3, he felt the cold tile under his feet the first time in 2 years. Month 2, he walked 2 laps around the park, no cane. I don't need to feel young again. I just need to stop losing myself. Miles' story 3. Clara, the small woman who rejected the wheelchair. Clara lived alone. No children, no daily caretakers. After a fall in the bathroom, the hospital report read, "Recommend wheelchair to prevent future falls." They brought the chair into her room. She sat in it. 5 minutes later, she stood up and rolled it back out. I didn't know how long I could stay standing, but I knew I wasn't ready to sit forever. Clara didn't buy expensive supplements. She simply switched coffee for ginger tea, got CoQ10 from mackerel, absorbed vitamin D from the morning sun, ate oatmeal with chia seeds and almond milk, got magnesium from leafy greens, pumpkin seeds, and almonds, mixed 3G creatine into her orange juice. Day 7. She slept through the night. Day 14, she got out of bed without dragging herself. Week 3, she cleaned the kitchen standing for 40 minutes straight. Sometimes what I need isn't someone to help me. What I need is the chance to help myself. Clara, a voice that touches each fiber of strength. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to go back to your 30s. You just need to ask what's still inside me that I can bring back to life. Don't blame time. Look instead at what was lost and ask where it can still be found. In the next chapter, I will show you how to design a 7-day recovery roadmap from your kitchen to your sleep cycle. No big spending, no complications. Just one simple agreement: I'm not finished. I'm just starting again in a gentler way. The 7-day body reboot from your kitchen to your legs. I wasn't looking for a miracle. I just wanted to stand up without grabbing the table. And I found that in the kitchen, not in a clinic. Samuel V. Age 71. Recovery doesn't have to begin with a prescription. Sometimes it begins with a new kind of breakfast, a glass of water without sugar, 15 quiet minutes in the sun, and a simple promise to yourself: I'll try again, just in a gentler way. I isn't giving you a 3-page meal plan. We're giving you 7 days to come back to yourself. Day 1. Wake up with the sun. Step outside for 15 minutes before 9 a.m. No sunglasses, no phone. Let natural light touch your skin, your eyes, your rhythm. Boosts vitamin D production, resets your internal clock. Breakfast. Oatmeal cooked with almond milk, a handful of blueberries or chopped apple, 3G creatine dissolved in water. Gently fuels your cells with light fiber and mitochondrial energy. Day 2. Drink differently. Ditch sodas and bottled fruit juices. Switch to filtered water with fresh ginger slices or mint leaves. Supports digestion, reduces inflammation, and hydrates your kidneys. Lunch. Pan-seared salmon or steamed mackerel. Lightly sautéed or steamed vegetables with olive oil. 200 mg CoQ10, especially if you're on statins. Day 3. Eat slowly so your body can thank you. Double the number of chews per bite. Put down your fork after each mouthful. Stimulates enzymes, enhances magnesium and B12 absorption. Dinner. Pumpkin soup with fresh ginger. 1 slice whole grain bread. 300 mg magnesium before bed. Deeper sleep. Fewer cramps. Relaxed muscles day. 4. Test your muscle strength. 5 chair test. Stand up and sit down 5 times without using your hands. Stair test. Climb 10 steps without stopping. If you succeed, maintain it. If it's hard, don't worry. This is where the journey begins. Breakfast: boiled egg plus 1/2 avocado plus whole grain toast, 1000. IU vitamin D3 with food. Supports calcium absorption, strengthens coordination. Day 5. Move gently as a thank you to your body. Walk for 20 minutes around the yard or down your block. Slow is fine, just be steady. Add light shoulder rolls and stretches. Increases circulation, reawakens sleepy muscle groups. Lunch: soft tofu salad with microgreens and sesame oil. Warm ginger tea after the meal. Aids digestion and reduces inflammation. Day 6. Care for your sleep. Turn off all screens an hour before bedtime. Listen to gentle sounds, Rain River. Soft podcasts: 300 milligrams magnesium plus 1000 IU-D3 before sleep. Prepares the body for deeper restoration. Evening snack idea: steamed green banana resistant starch stabilizes digestion. 1 tablespoon plain yogurt, mild probiotic support. Day 7. Recheck yourself. Repeat the 5-chair test, see if anything's changed. Write a short reflection. What did I feel after 7 days? You don't need anyone else to verify. Just be honest with yourself. Final meal of the day: brown rice porridge with soft green mung beans. 1 sublingual B12 tablet. Turn off the light, breathe, smile, a whisper on the 7th day. You don't need to be strong like before, you just need enough strength to not need someone to lift you. You don't need to run, you just need to walk to where your soul wants to go. And if you've come this far, 7 days with then you've already gone farther than you thought you could. In the next chapter, I will share the most shocking truth: why the very medications your doctor prescribed may be quietly breaking down your muscles, memory, and sleep day by day. Not to blame, but to understand and to protect yourself better. When medication heals the disease but steals your strength. I took my pills, I followed every instruction, but each year I felt weaker, my memory faded, my sleep got shallower, and no one told me that the very pills meant to save me might also be stealing what I need most to live. Paul Jennings, age 74. Paul was a retired physics professor. He never missed a checkup. His cholesterol in check, blood pressure controlled, heart normal, and yet after turning 70, his thighs ached during simple walks. His hands trembled when writing. Sleep slipped away. And worst of all, his short-term memory began to blur in unfamiliar ways. His doctor said it's just age. But Paul, a man who believed in logic, didn't buy that. A quiet voice reading between the lines of a prescription. Paul pulled out his medication list: statin for cholesterol, omeprazole for acid reflux, amlodipine for blood pressure, a daily multivitamin. Each medication had its purpose. But as Paul researched each one, he sat in silence. The side effects you'll never find on the front of the bottle. 1. Statins lower cholesterol but deplete CoQ10. Statins are among the most commonly prescribed drugs for seniors. They reduce the risk of stroke and heart attack, but they also reduce CoQ10 in your cells by 50–60%. Without CoQ10 equals no cellular energy. Muscle fatigue, deep exhaustion, neural decline. I was taking pills to prevent a stroke and I couldn't walk 5 minutes without giving out. Paul 2. Omeprazole protects your stomach but blocks B12 and magnesium proton pump inhibitors. PPIs help with acid reflux and heartburn, but they reduce stomach acid and with it your ability to absorb B12, magnesium, and zinc. B12 is needed for nerve communication. Magnesium for heart rhythm, sleep, and muscle function. Without them equals brain fog, tremors. Mood dips, insomnia. 3. Diuretics flush fluid but drain magnesium and potassium. Often prescribed for high blood pressure, diuretics don't just remove excess water, they also take vital minerals with them. Low magnesium and potassium equals cramps, arrhythmia, muscle weakness. A gentle but firm wake-up call. Don't get it wrong. Medication isn't bad, doctors aren't wrong, but your body needs more than what your prescription provides. The pills may stabilize your numbers, but you need something that stabilizes your life, your alertness, your ability to stand, to remember what day it is, to smile. And sometimes those are quietly eroded by the very pills you swallow each morning. I don't regret taking the meds, but I do wish I'd known what I was losing along the way. Paul Jennings. The solution isn't to stop your meds, but to know what to add. If you're taking statins, add CoQ10 200, 300 mg day. If on acid reflux meds, add sublingual B12 plus magnesium glycinate. If on diuretics, monitor potassium and magnesium. Eat more green seeds, sweet potatoes, bring it to your doctor. Print the list. Say this: I don't just want to live long, I want to live strong. A final question in the quiet hour. You may have dreamed of reaching 90, but ask yourself, when you're 90, will you still be standing eating on your own, recognizing your grandchildren? If not, then start with the pill in your hand and ask, what is it helping me with? And what might it be quietly taking away? In the next chapter, I will guide you through a simple system of eating, moving, and supplementing designed especially for people over 60. It doesn't cost a fortune. It doesn't require fancy treatments. It starts in the kitchen, in the sunlight, with a little knowledge and a little compassion for yourself. The ecosystem of living lightly. A roadmap to strength, stillness, and sleep in old age. I wasn't looking for a secret to long life. I just wanted to wake up each morning, step out of bed, wash my face, and remember what day it was. Joan W., age 81. Joan had tried everything. Ozone therapy, supplements that cost hundreds, extreme elimination diets, 10-day detox retreats. But after it all, she said, nothing worked like the small things done every day with kindness toward myself. A voice from someone who's been through the storm at the life. After 60, we don't send you to a lab. We bring you back home, back to your kitchen, back to the sunlight, back to your breath, back to the person who once knew how to care for themselves, even with shaking hands but full of love. The four corners of the IM ecosystem for aging well. 1. The kitchen, where healing begins. Eat to feel strong, not just to live long. A simple daily rhythm morning. Soft cooked oats with fresh fruit. 3G creatine stirred in lunch. Fatty fish, mackerel or salmon. Steamed greens. Brown rice dinner. Blended vegetable soup. 1 spoon of plain yogurt. Magnesium before bed. Midday, warm ginger tea or warm water with lemon. Daily supplements. CoQ10 200 ml if on statins. Sublingual B12 1000 mg. Vitamin D 3000 pounds 2000 pound IU. Magnesium glycinate 300 pound 400 ml. I didn't heal with fancy pills. I healed with meals that stopped exhausting me. Joan 2. The sun, where your body reawakens. 15-20 minutes each morning before 9 a.m. No phone, no sunglasses, no mask. Just you and the light of a new day. Activates your natural vitamin D. Resets your internal clock. Boosts sleep, mood, and metabolism. I used to think the sun drained me. Now I know without it I lost both strength and sleep. Gerald, age 73. The sleep sanctuary, where muscles truly recover. 3 IM principles: no food after 7 p.m., no screens 1 hour before bed. Create a soft ritual warm bath, reading, menthol rub, deep breathing, gentle support. 300 mg magnesium glycinate, lotus or chamomile tea, soft podcast, no strong music, just a warm voice. I didn't need sleeping pills, I just needed to be softly sung to sleep. Marion, age 74-4. The Movement Corner, where your body takes back control. You don't need a gym, you just need 15-20 minutes a day at any time. Walk around the house, sweep the yard, stretch your arms and neck, chair sit stands 10 reps, climb stairs slowly 5 steps. I don't move to look better, I move so I won't fall. Benjamin, age 78. A whisper from within. You don't need to live perfectly. You just need to live in a way that your body feels grateful for you each day. Every time you eat right, sleep well, rise and stretch, you're telling your body, I still love you. I still want to keep living with you, not because of someone else's help. In the final chapter, I will take you somewhere special. No more checklists, no more theory, just what you'll carry forward on your path toward a softer, deeper, more dignified old age. A goodbye, a blessing, and a map for the most beautiful part of your life. When you choose to live consciously, aging is no longer something to fear. I used to be afraid of getting old, afraid of forgetting, afraid of losing my independence. But after everything, I realized what's truly scary isn't aging. It's going through each day without knowing what you're slowly losing. A voice from someone who came back. If you've made it this far with, maybe you don't need another reason to change. Because if a body that's already weakening still has the strength to listen, then your heart is still very, very strong. By now, maybe you've discovered why you've been so tired, realized what nutrients you've been missing, remembered the last time you stood up without using your hands, and realized you're not out of hope. A farewell that feels like a hand held tight. This podcast wasn't made to tell you you've been wrong. It was made to remind you you deserve to know sooner. Sooner than a fall. Sooner than a prescription that drags on for 6 months. Sooner than that quiet morning you couldn't make it out of bed. Because you're not just your age on a medical chart. You were once powerful. You laughed out loud. You stood in the world without needing anyone to hold you up. And if you've ever been that person, then your body hasn't forgotten. It's just been waiting for you to come back. Start again. Not with regret, but with a gentle step. Wake up a little earlier tomorrow. Stir creatine into your morning oatmeal. Take 1 tiny D3 capsule. Choose sleep over the 11 p.m. news. And if this meant something to you, I invite you to do 3 small things. 1. Click follow or subscribe to Senior Times News, so that each day we can bring you back piece by piece to yourself. 2. Share this podcast episode with someone you love. A father who doesn't know he's low on CoQ10. A mother who still can't sleep and thinks it's just age. A friend who believes their weakness is inevitable. You may not be able to heal them, but you can remind them they're not alone. 3. Leave a comment below. What did you realize? Not for us, but for the ones scrolling, reading silently, who need someone to say the thing they've been too afraid to speak. And lastly, a gentle reminder. No one can live for you, but you can choose to live differently starting tomorrow. And sometimes, if you're just willing to try again, your body will no longer let you down. I believe we're not fighting aging. We're walking with it more consciously, more lightly, and more deeply. See you in the next story. Until then, live kindly, breathe gently, and take that one small step home.